We have some news right now. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that he spoke with Walmart CEO, and Walmart CEO agreed to eat some of the tariffs, as Mr. Donald Trump said that Walmart has to eat the tariffs. So it looks like Walmart may be caving a bit. We don't know much coming from Walmart. We don't have an official statement just yet, but Scott Bessent did appear on a show this morning and essentially said that Walmart's going to eat the tariffs, and also that even if Walmart eats the tariffs, American consumers will still feel the impacts of tariffs because we may have to pay more for some goods. Now remember, just because there are tariff pauses on a number of countries doesn't mean the tariffs don't exist. There's still 30% tariffs on most Chinese goods, including toys, clothing, textiles, and other stuff that Walmart sells to Americans every single day. So no matter what happens here, even if Walmart eats some of the tariffs, prices will still probably go up. But we'll see what Walmart says next. Spread the word. I'll have a full breakdown on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along to stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about.
I got laid off today, and I was not going to make a video about this. I wasn't sure that I was going to publicly talk about this, but because we are in 2025 and there is this great layoff movement that is happening and people are going through this every single day, I wanted to come on here and say a couple of things. First things first, if you do not feel secure in your job and if you are afraid of being laid off, trust your discernment. Honey, be prepared. Last year, I recognized that my services were no longer needed within this company. So when the layoff word started being passed around in early 2025, I wholeheartedly believed that my job was going to be at the top of the list of being eliminated. And today, I found out that I was not wrong. So I'll say it again. Step one, if you feel even the teensiest bit of insecurity in that job, believe it. Trust your gut and start preparing. How do you prepare? Get that resume together. Get that resume together. If you are able to hire yourself a career coach, do that also. Prepare yourself. If it's been a while since you've been in the job force and you've actually had to look for a job like myself, you need somebody to help teach you how to interview. Guess what? Cover letters, they're coming back. They're making a comeback. You got to learn how to write a cover letter. You got to learn how to write a cover letter, sis. Okay? You're going to need somebody to help teach you how to do that. You need a resume update. You need to learn how to write a cover letter. You need some career coaching. Okay? Also, looking at recruiting firms. Find what's out there. LinkedIn will not get you where you want to go. Google will not get you where you want to go. Know what industry that you want to work in and start there. And then find a recruiter or a consulting firm that can help you navigate that space. Get specific. Get your notebook out, get your journal out, and be specific in what you're looking for because you cannot do it on your own. I'm still employed until June 12th, and I'm going to walk you guys through this journey and how I've prepared myself through it, how I prepared my family for it. And do we have everything together? No. However, I will say that mentally being prepared, that is the best place to start. Get your mind prepared. Your body will follow. Everything else will get there. Okay, you don't have to have it all together, but don't be caught off guard. Don't be caught off guard. That's my advice. If you are experiencing or work for one of these big companies and you are looking down the barrel of a layoff in 2025, we're going to talk more about this. I love you guys. Good night.
It was reported by the New York Post that Walmart is cutting corporate jobs and shutting down multiple offices in a major restructuring effort. The company says that they are offering affected employees relocation support in its main hubs in Bentonville, Arkansas, Sunnyvale, and California. Now, who is being affected by this move? Hundreds of white-collar jobs are being eliminated or relocated, with workers forced to move or leave the company. But the question is, why now? Walmart claims that this move will improve efficiency and collaboration, but a lot of people are seeing this as a cost-cutting measure disguised as a corporate restructuring. So the big question is, should companies still be forcing relocations in a world of remote work? Or is this an outdated strategy that could potentially hurt employee retention? Leave your comments down below.
I thought the layoffs at Google, Microsoft, and even Dell were bad. But then Walmart came along and said, hold my beer, and said, hey, we're going to not only lay off a bunch of folks, we're going to close 3 offices and make you relocate to Bentonville, Arkansas. I believe locations were Dallas, Atlanta, and Toronto. One, would any of you guys actually move to relocate for that job? I mean, what are the guarantees that you're not going to get laid off once you move to Arkansas? And then what the hell are you going to do in Arkansas once you're there? To me, it just seems like this is another cost-cutting move, a way to get around layoffs and severance packages. I'm not sure how many total employees this is going to impact. I couldn't find that in any of the research. If anybody knows, let me know. But I'm curious, would any of you guys actually relocate for a corporate job at this point? The only scenario I could think of is if it was to a location that I wanted to either retire to or spend a lot more time in. I just can't, I can't see picking up without some sort of guarantee. And I'm guessing you there was no guarantees of, hey, if I move there, you let me go within a year, you pay back and relocate me at your expense. So again, another cost-cutting move happened right before earnings calls, and yeah, the beat goes on. So if you're still in corporate, good luck.
There is comedy in this. There really is. Because at the same time that Trump is telling Walmart, hey, don't raise prices and blame it on tariffs, he's also saying, eat the tariffs. In other words, absorb the cost of the tariffs that you, the American company, and as you are trying to pass on to the American consumer, are paying. Here it is in Trump's words right here. Quote, Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. And then eat the tariffs. Oh, and he goes on to say, I'll be watching, and so will your customers. The comedy in this is that he's speaking out of both sides of his mouth. This is also a follow-on to all along him trying to make the case that other countries are paying these tariffs, which they aren't, which they never have been, which it has never worked that way. The importer pays the tariffs. So he's admitting, basically, that the importer, Walmart, is paying the tariffs as he's telling Walmart to eat the tariffs. He's also telling them that they shouldn't don't blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices. Now, the one piece I'll allow in this is that we saw during the supply chain disruptions of the COVID pandemic, we saw many companies raise prices only to then make record-breaking profits. And that, I will agree, is not okay. So, yes, don't blame supply chain issues as the reason you have to raise prices, only to then raise prices so much that you're actually increasing your profits because you're raising prices more than your increased costs. But that, I don't think, is even close to what's happening here yet. This is just Walmart saying, look, we've already done our part where we've tried to see what we could absorb, we've tried to see what we can do, and now we're going to have to start raising prices because there is a real cost to the tariffs. That's the reality.